morning, and thank you for joining me again this morning. You're all very, very welcome. So for our class this morning, or for our session this morning, we're going to have a little bit of mindful movement and very slow, gentle movement meditation. So you probably want to be sitting for this. You could do this lying down, but I think you might get a little bit more benefit if you are sitting. So I would suggest that you sit with support. So perhaps sit with your back supported by a wall, the back of a sofa, the headstand on your bed, whatever you call that thing at the top of the bed. Just something so that when you sit, if you want to lean back a little bit, you can do so. And again, as usual, if you're used to meditation and used to sitting, then it's fine to not to have that support, but I'd like you to be comfortable as we move through. So when you come to sitting in that position with whether your back is supported or not, you could come to something like easy cross-legged, or you just take one foot in towards your inner thigh and then cross the other leg in front of it. Probably support yourself with a pillow or a cushion underneath your hips, underneath the sit bones if you're going to do that. And if you're on the floor, I would say if there's something soft that you can put underneath the bum, it can help as well. So you're, again, going to be comfortable when you come out of the meditation later. The other way that's nice to sit for this is to sit on the floor just with the legs, knees bent, or the legs out in front of you. So whatever is going to be most comfortable. And if you find that you're in one position, and as we go through, that becomes a little uncomfortable, feel free to switch to something else. So I'd invite you to start by closing your eyes if you're comfortable to do so. And if you prefer not to close your eyes, just have a long, low gaze at a point on the floor or the wall in front of you. Just to bring our awareness a little bit more internally. So moving away from outside distractions, the busyness of the world around you, distractions in your home, and just tuning in. And taking a moment or two to settle into this new space of taking your awareness to more of an internal focus. Check in, how are you feeling this morning? So how are you doing right now? How are you doing on a mental, physical, emotional, energetic level? And whatever answer comes up, or whatever you sense into and feel, just treating it as information. No need to get caught up in the story, but just acknowledging how you're feeling right now. And if there are challenges, if there are difficulties, if there are niggles or discomforts, just sending yourself a little warmth, a little compassion, as you might do to a friend. Be your own friend this morning. So pressing down with your sit bones and allowing a little lengthening in the spine as you invite the crown of the head towards the sky, the ceiling. And perhaps just roll your palms slightly forwards, excuse me, taking the elbows slightly back, the shoulder blades slightly closer together. And then you can release your hands back to your thighs. And just enjoy a few nice settling breaths here. A few nice long, deep, full, excuse me, inhalations. And then nice, long, deep, slow, full exhalations. And allowing the muscles in the body to soften as much as possible so that the floor, the support behind you, your structural body, the bones and the skeleton, the gravity does the work to hold you, and you can soften a little. Relaxing your jaw, softening your mouth, your lips, your tongue. Relaxing your forehead and allowing the shoulders to drop away from the ears. And just checking in, do any of these gentle invitations to soften, to let go of tension, to let go of holding on? Does any of this help to just bring a little bit more comfort, a little bit more ease into the body? And you're noticing whatever you're noticing, so there's no right or wrong. Nothing to be disappointed about if that's not your experience, but just noticing and checking in. And I'm going to guide you through some nice, slow, gentle movement now. Very slow, very gentle. And what we're going to try to do is just to focus our awareness on the movement that we're making, on the breath that's accompanying that movement, and trying without too much effort to connect the two, to connect the movement with the breath. So you might like to open your eyes for the first time. I suggest each movement if you're not familiar with them. And then you have the option to keep the eyes gently open or close them again as we repeat. And meditation really is about offering the mind something to focus on and choosing yourself what it is that you're offering the mind as a point of focus. So this morning we're going to allow movement and breath combined to be that point of focus. So we'll start by bringing our awareness and attention to our hands. And just lifting the hands gently. So I'm keeping my elbows alongside my body. The arms are not extended, but palms towards the ceiling. And on your next inhalation, really slowly just lengthen the fingers as much as possible, bringing as much space between the fingers and as much length into the fingers. When you're ready to exhale, you're going to curl softly in towards the palm. So not making a fist, but just allowing the fingers to curl in. So lengthening, expanding on the inhalation, and see if you can match the length of the movement to the length of the breath. And then slowly curling in on your exhalation. Again, length of movement to length of breath. So you're almost tracing the breath with the movement. Expanding out, lengthening out. So if I was looking at you doing this, I'd almost be able to see where your in-breath starts and now it finishes. And where you start your exhale and you finish the exhale. So once more, lengthen and expand. Really slow movements. If you want to slow down the breath, slow down the movement even further. And then exhaling, slowly, gently closing. And then we're going to point the fingers a little more towards the ceiling. Face the palms towards each other. We're going to make circles now with the fingers to bring rotations into the wrists. We're going to try half a circle for an inhalation and half a circle for an exhalation. So have an in-breath in your own time. And as you exhale, we're going to roll the fingers round towards the floor, exhaling down, and then inhaling up towards the ceiling. And again, slowing it down so that the length of your movement matches the length of the breath, or the duration of the movement from start to finish matches the length of the breath from start to finish, as much as is comfortable. So inhaling and moving upwards, the body expands and lengthens on the inhale, and then exhaling down towards the floor, contracting on the exhale. Coming back around in the opposite direction now, towards the ceiling on your inhalation, and then back down towards the floor on the exhalation. And then once more around like this. This is also releasing tension in the joints. Lots of physical tension and emotional tension gets trapped in the muscles and the joints in the body. We work with the joints, we work with the muscles. And then we roll the palms towards the ceiling again. As you inhale, bringing the fingers towards your shoulders, So we're stretching out the fronts of the wrists here and as far back as they'll come in. Excuse me. So just allow the full flexion there in the wrist. And then lengthening out on your exhale, moving away on the exhale. Back towards the shoulders, in towards the biceps on your next breath. And then nice and slowly moving away and lengthening away. And use your own breath as your guide for the movement. Don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm talking and breathing and moving all at the same time. So I'm not necessarily sinking as nicely as you might be. And then once more back towards the shoulders. And lengthening away on your next breath. As you inhale, lengthen the arms out away from you nice and slowly. And on your exhale, bending the elbows, bringing the fingers to the shoulders. Really nice and slowly lengthening it out. So these are one of the bigger movements, so you can really slow it down. Really imagine just the hypnotic effect of moving slowly. And as you exhale, we close the space, excuse me, back to the shoulders. I'm froggy in the mornings. Inhaling, lengthening and opening, nice and slowly. So stretching out the elbows here. And then exhaling really nice and slowly. And almost feel your energy or the energy of the hands moving through the air. You might feel into some of the energy in the air around you. Keep the shoulders or the elbows, keep the fingers onto the shoulders now. And we're going to make circles with the elbows. So as you inhale, bringing the elbows up towards the ceiling. And exhale, open around to the side, rolling the shoulders back down behind you as the elbows come to the waist. Nice and slowly here. Inhale, nice slow movements. Elbows moving forwards up towards the ceiling. And then out to the side and around to the waist. And if you can hear any cracking, you're probably hearing me cracking. And if you can hear any cracking in your own shoulders, coming up and around, it's just release of fluid. So you're not actually doing anything to exaggerate or exacerbate or hurt your bones. So then we're going to take it in the opposite direction. So the elbows come back behind you, out to the side, up towards the ceiling, and then forward. So we're releasing out, rolling out the shoulders here. Round to the side, back behind you, lengthening out, up towards the ceiling, and then back down nice and slowly. So down on your exhalations and up on the inhalations. But it doesn't really matter. It's up for a breath and down for a breath. All your awareness, all your attention is on this gentle movement and this gentle connection of body and breath. And then releasing your elbows. We'll take the arms nice and wide again. And this time as we inhale, we lengthen the hands, the fingers up towards the ceiling. Nice slow movement again. Exhaling, releasing the hands nice and slowly, tracing that breath from beginning to end, all the way back towards the floor. Lengthening up on the inhalations, bringing the palms or the fingers towards the ceiling, palms towards each other. You can connect the fingers if you like, and then inhaling nice and slowly and opening. Really slowing down the movement. Really helps to focus the mind, helps to coordinate with the breath, and also you'll be more aware of any sensations that you're experiencing. And then one last time, up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, nice and slowly back towards the floor again. So taking your right hand onto your right waist and invite the elbow back behind you. Take the left hand, so either the palm or the fingers or the pads of the hands, whatever's most comfortable, to the floor. Invite the shoulder back and have a nice opening across your chest here. And as you exhale, look around over that shoulder. As you inhale, just taking your gaze back towards center, lengthening the right hand towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, start to slowly stretch across the body. Again, matching the movement, perhaps to the length of the breath. Inhaling back to center, we're going to take both arms out alongside the body, palms towards the ceiling. And then take the fingers of the hand on the right side to the body, left side or left hand to your left waist. Take the elbow back just to open up the chest here. And as you exhale, have a look around over that shoulder. As you inhale, just floating back towards center, floating that left hand up towards the ceiling. And as you move into your exhale, just lengthening across here, coming into a little side stretch. And then inhale back to center. We'll take it to each side now a couple of times. So left hand to the floor, and as you inhale, lengthen with the right hand, moving into the stretch, committing to the stretch on your exhale. Inhale nice and slowly, and really slow it down. Imagine that you are moving in slow motion. You don't need to imagine it, but really sense into that. It's a very different experience to moving quickly. You don't have momentum, once more each side. When you don't have momentum to do the work for you, you really experience all the sensations in the body. So you can prevent yourself going too far with anything. You can prevent injury. And you can really just allow the mind to settle on the movement. Lovely. And then inhaling back to center, hands to the thighs again. So take a settling breath, have a nice full round of inhalation and maybe sighing exhalation. Nice full inhalation. Explore the sigh, see if it's accessible to you. Nice full inhale. Sigh in the exhale. And then we'll bring the shoulders into that. So this time as you inhale, invite your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you exhale, release. And let that drop of the shoulders have the breath to expel from the body. Inhaling up. And exhaling, letting it go. Inhaling up. Exhaling, letting it go. We're just going to bring a little gentle twist into the waist in a moment. So as you inhale, just lengthen the space between the shoulders at the front of the body and bring the shoulder blades a little closer at the back body. And when you next exhale, you can take your right hand to your left knee, left hand back behind you, so onto the floor or your support, your bolster, whatever it might be. If you're sitting against something, just sit a little taller. And then just look round over that shoulder, just to bring a little stretch here and twist into the side body. On your next exhale, flow gently back to center. Pause for your inhalation as you root down with the sit bones and lengthen up through the crown of the head. And when you exhale again, your left hand or your opposite hand comes to the opposite knee. Look around over the shoulder. Pause for the inhalation. And exhale nice and slowly back to center. Pause, lift and lengthen, so root and rise on your inhale. Twist and turn nice and slowly again, slow motion. Really sense into it. Pause on the inhalation and lengthen again, and then nice and slowly drift back to center on the exhalation. And then once more to the other side. So flowing around on your exhale, pausing here and lengthening on your inhale, and back to center on the exhale again. Take a nice full inhalation. Sighing exhalation. And then we're going to move the leg in front of us. So take the legs so that they're extended out in front of you if they're not already in that position. Give the knees a little shake out as you do so. Make sure that you stay nice and long in the spine, nice and tall in the upper part of the body, so above the hips. And we're going to bring our awareness now to our toes. So please don't lock your knees. Make sure that when your legs are straight that you're not locking your knees. As you inhale, just tip the toes away from you nice and slowly. And when you exhale, allow the toes to make their way back towards the chest. And again, matching the length of the movement. And this is really slow with the toes because they don't move very far. So as best as you can, matching the length of the movement to the length of the breath back on the exhalations. And not a lot of flexibility there in those toes. So you really, if I was looking at you, might be wondering, are you moving at all? Tipping away on your inhalation and back on your exhalation. And the next time you tip the toes away, let the front of the feet follow so that you're stretching into the fronts of the ankles. When you exhale, tip your heels away, toes back towards your chest. So stretching into the backs of the heels and a little bit up towards the backs of the calves there. Lengthen nice and slowly away on your inhalations. And then close the space. Shorten on the exhalations as the toes come back towards the chest. Once more lengthening away as you inhale, nice and slowly, and again, really slowing down that movement. Back on the exhalation. We're going to take little circles here now. So you might want to take the feet a little wider, about hip width or a little bit wider apart. And we're going to do the same as we did with the wrists, the half a circle for an in-breath and half a circle for an out-breath. So using the toes as almost as if you were drawing in the air to bring rotation into the feet. So I'm coming down off my bolster. If you're on an elevation, it might help to be a little bit more grounded as well. So as you exhale, toes come around towards the floor for half a circle, and on your inhalation, back up towards the ceiling. Around and out towards the floor on your exhalation, and then nice and slowly back up towards the ceiling on your inhale. Around and down on the exhale, and in and up on the inhale. Take that in the opposite direction, so change your rotation. So coming down now on the exhale, and up and around on the inhalation. And 2 more of those. And just notice as well as you're doing this, as well as bringing some movement into the ankles, you're also internally and externally rotating your legs, particularly your thighs here as you do this. And that's bringing a little bit of a sprinkling action up into your hips as well. Lovely. So when you've repeated 3 of those, you can come to settle and bend your left knee. So just holding on to the back of the thigh, sit nice and tall. Bring the thigh as you exhale towards your belly. And as you inhale, lengthen the leg away, flex the foot and press through the heel just to engage your hamstring. As you exhale, point the toes, bend the knee, bring the thigh in towards your belly. And as you inhale, nice and slowly, lengthen the leg away, point the toes, press through the heel, toes towards the ceiling. And one more lengthenation, bending your knee, thigh towards the belly, and then exhaling, stretching that out, lengthening that out, and just gently placing that leg to the floor. Take a moment to notice the difference between right and left side. And then you can bend the right knee, take the thigh towards the belly as you exhale. As you inhale, lengthen the leg away, point the toes. Exhaling, bending the knee, heel towards the hips, thigh towards the belly. And nice and slowly lengthen out here again on your inhalation. Exhalation, nice and slowly moving again. All your awareness is on the movement, on the breath. Inhaling, lengthening out. Lovely, bending both knees, just taking your feet a little bit wider. Take the toes or the soles of the feet in towards each other. Sit nice and tall, so perhaps just remove the flesh there from the sit bones. And just for a breath or two, have a little really slow butterfly movement here. So as you exhale, gently invite the knees towards the center. And as you inhale, gently move them out to the side. On your exhale, slowly, 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 inviting them towards center. So we're not asking the knees to meet. We're just bringing them towards the center of the body. And then as you inhale, lengthen and open. And we're just bringing a little movement here into the hips again. Inhale. Close or exhale, closing. And inhale, opening. And just allow yourself to sit comfortably now. So you can come back to whatever position you were in to start with. Just bringing your legs back so that they're nice and comfortable. Closing your eyes. Finding your breath, nice, long, deep, slow, full inhalations. And nice, lovely, long, deep, slow exhalations. And choose whether you want those exhalations to release with a sigh, or whether you're happy to just release with more of an everyday breath. Just check in, relaxing your jaw, relaxing your mouth, your lips, your tongue, and your forehead again. And perhaps just bringing a little smile onto the face, or the shape of a smile. So even if it doesn't feel like it's a natural and organic, a genuine smile, just the gentle shape of the smile, just to tell your brain that your body is relaxing, that you're content, that you're at ease. And the brain usually obliges them with a little supply of the more relaxing hormones, endorphins, and a little bit maybe even of oxytocin if you're feeling a nice sense of contentment inside. Stay with your breath for another moment or two, and I just invite you to visualize yourself having a positive day. A positive outcome, or the best possible outcome, even if that might be not how you might imagine it to be. To every situation that you encounter, best possible outcome for all of the communications that you have through the day, any interactions that you have through the day. Best possible outcome for any quiet time, any alone time that you have during your day. You might like to set an intention for your day. Are there any qualities that you would like to bring with you into your day? Strength, balance, flexibility, calm, ease, contentment, release, quiet, whatever it might be. You will have your own personal intentions as well, so make it yours, make it personal to yourself. And set a general intention to release any attachments to things being a particular way. We're going to have 3 more breaths here, any kind of breath that you like. So they might be sighing breaths. They might be a nice, strong, perhaps deeper than usual, but more everyday kind of breath. Allowing your mind just to rest on the body again, rest on your experience right here, right now. And you can keep your eyes closed for this. You can open them if you prefer. As you inhale, we're going to take the palms out to the side, arms wide out to the side and up towards the ceiling, bringing the hands together, palms to prayer position. As you exhale, expelling the breath from the body, bringing the hands down towards the chest. Again, holding in prayer position. Inhale, a lovely expansive breath. So call in all of the qualities that you'd like to embody today as you go through your day. Exhaling any fears, worries, tensions, concerns that might be prepared to ease out for a while. Inhaling, opening, calling in anything that serves your highest good. Exhaling, releasing anything that stands in the way. And then one nice final expansive inhalation, calling in whatever it is that you want for yourself for your day, whatever it is that you want right now. Exhaling, releasing the hands down, back to the chest. Take the hands onto the heart, so the heart center. Just have a little moment of inner connection with yourself. So thanking yourself for showing up this morning. Thanks to yourself for giving yourself a little time and space, making space to start your day, hopefully on a nurturing note. Thanking yourself for all that you do to support yourself at this time. And then whenever you're ready, You can open your eyes. So lower your gaze to the floor and just slowly and gently bring the light in. Thank you very much for joining me. Namaste. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for showing up again this morning. And I hope that just little gentle movement, it can be quite hypnotic, but you also have the, so we have the benefits of settling the mind, but you also have the additional benefit of releasing tension from the joints. And we can't release tension from the joints without releasing some from the muscles as well, because there's lots of muscles and connective tissue in between. Have a lovely day. Go slowly into your day, stay and rest a little longer if you would like. And looks like there's a nice sunny day ahead for us. So when you do get out into it, we can have something else to be grateful for today. So take care. Hopefully see you tomorrow. And be well, stay safe and be